Oh yeah. Chocked full. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. I think my brother's coming with some fertilizer for me, so that will be good. Keep me rolling. I'll finish up this field. That will put us over a quarter of the way done, which is a good thing. For right now, I'm like 24 hours, so it's 5:30. I'm like 24 hours since I started, so like an actual day, which is good there. That's how I do my section control. Pick it up, get right to the end, pick it up. So 5 passes around the outside will make it nice and easy that I can turn back around. And put myself in a good point so I can start working again. Get you back on me. So a lot of comments on what drone I have. I got a Maverick Pro 2, and that's been pretty good for me. As you see, it's good quality. It's a little bigger. It would be cool to see what the Air would do, and if that would give me more opportunity to carry it around. Since that is a downside, I always have a backpack. I got goggles that go with it. When you're driving something, you really can't run the goggles at the same time, so that makes it a little more interesting. Dang, that's a good angle. I think I like flying the drone more just so I can see, so I can get all these angles for myself to see, because it would look cool. But I do love sharing it, so I appreciate the comments about the drone action. Yeah, planting 5 miles an hour, putting 5 gallons an acre of liquid on. We're down at 30,800 population. My line's not exactly straight. I'm watching you at the same time, since we might get to the trees, and well, it's never good when I run the drone into a tree. Other than that, I went over fertilizer yesterday. I forget exactly, I wrote it down. This field is 12.3 acres. I was trying to remember. I did get it figured out. So we'll flip it out here. So as I lift up the corn planter, it switches arms. That's what that does. And then when I put it back down, it turns fertilizer on and switches to the other arm. So there's not much to it. The marker arm just shows me where I'm going on my next pass, as you see it straight on it. Pretty freaking cool. If you make videos, I recommend, or if you like taking action shots, things like that, or cool pictures. Like most of my pictures of myself lately, me and Yanko, have been from the drone, because usually nobody's around when I'm like, hey, this would make a good picture. So tractor does look good. I did vent about how this wasn't the best tractor in my eyes, but it's worked out. For what we could do with it, it will be good. It's just not the ideal tractor for what I want to do with it. So, or what we could do with a good all-around tractor. It does whine. Somebody said that. When we first got it, I said, the thing whines quite a bit compared to the 7320. The hydraulics just whine. If you open the back window, I don't understand why. Oh. But 278 hours, so we almost put 80 hours on it since we've owned it. I don't know. It would be cool. GPS 8-row planner behind this, 7520 on the discs, and get another piece of tillage implement to run the chisel plows, or vice versa. I do want a Fendt, but we'll see. Financially, and I love old equipment. And I think everybody watching loves old equipment, so. Or a majority of it. That's why you're on the channel. That and Yanko. So Yanko's sitting here. Let's see if I can zoom it, get in close enough. His head just popped up. You see the drone, buddy? Oh, he's not waving, but he's looking. So with the newer planners and GPS, you can have the section control, so when you get to the end like that, it would shut off when you go over the boundary of what you've already planted.
Tracking subject lost.
And that makes it way nicer where you're not overlapping as much, not using more seed than you should, which if you're overlapping too much, well, if you're overlapping, your population isn't what you want it to be, which then means that plant's probably not going to thrive to its best potential, because you're not set up to feed that plant at that rate. Just, yeah, saving money, getting the best yields, everything like that. This year will be interesting. Corn's like $7 right now. As far as corn, combine corn, shelled corn. Beans are what, $16 as well. So the cost of inputs is super high. So making high quality forage is a big part of it. I don't know why it's told me. I thought something was in the way. So making high quality grass and high quality corn silage is going to be a huge part of making sure we can survive with okay milk prices, but high inputs of everything: diesel, fuel, diesel, grain. I haven't seen one company not come out and say that their prices are going to stay the same. They've all increased. So cost of metal and everything else, things are expensive. So making high quality forage is absolutely crucial in times like this. Oh, I turned too sharp. Freaking amateur hour. I'm finally figuring out how to really fly this drone. So usually I take bits and pieces of me making a mess of something and put it into the video and try to make it so it doesn't look like all shaky and everything. But yeah, this is working. So maybe I'm gonna be able to get some good chopper action, since usually I'm chopping, and flying the drone and chopping and loading a truck is usually extremely challenging. I did have Ross last year film some as I chopped, which was cool. That was in corn. Yeah, we're gonna be just about out of fertilizer. I don't know where my brother is. Should be coming. Francisco and the crew was finishing up clearing back trees, and then you had to mix feed, and then the loader was free. So my father's out disking, I believe, still, and should be in front of me quite a bit. We'll see. Maybe it won't be good if I catch up to him. But I take it they went back down and pulled the rock out of the discs and sent him back disking, and he's in a good section. So we'll go there once we get this done. What time is it? Almost 6 o'clock. Don't overlap too much. That's a blooper right there. I'm back in it. It's the issue, you look away for a second and yeah, you're driving all the way off. So when I chop this, I'll be like, wow, what was I doing then? So that tote's empty. Most of this is done. That was my father going by in the dump truck. He's headed back to go disc, and he must have had a delivery. The field across the street here, as we're standing here, that's gonna get 56, 60. As you see, it's pretty wet right there where it's dark, and then in the back it's wet again. So I'll probably see about planting that tomorrow. And you can see the grass. It's absolutely looking great. Needs to be reseeded next year. It's been like 6 years since we reseeded that, I think. Maybe even longer. But, yeah. I absolutely love having that drone. More and more I have it with me, the better everything is. It's sweet. So, my father went by, like I said, he went down discing. He did call me. He couldn't get it out of park. Now he got it out of park. It's a thing with those transmissions that if they're on a hill incline, I do gotta give that thing some love, lining everything up. Trying to think what else went on. So, he did one field, so he's got 6 acres ahead of me that I'm gonna plant. He's got 3 other fields that he can go hit and do. We'll see how much he gets done in the meantime. Hopefully a good bit, that way I don't catch him tonight and then have to wait in the morning to get going. But in the morning we might, I'm trying to think, yeah, I'll have a good section done. In the morning we might go spread fertilizer. I don't know, maybe. And disc in one field. It might be wet. Cancel that. If it's wet across the street from me right here, it's probably wet over there. So that's gonna probably be an end of the week thing. Some of our best ground, but it does get really wet. Years ago, I'll see if I can find the picture and I'll put it in here. If I can figure out how to do that. Yeah. I'll find the picture and I'll put it in here. We had the pull type chopper on the 7320 with the dump wagon, and the corn was like, it grew amazing corn. We used to do the whole thing in corn. Now we do the rear of the one field in corn, and then we got hay on the front and on the other side. But we had to pull the chopper through with a bulldozer. And we were chopping half loads and everything else like that. So that's why if it's a wet fall, that place can be brutal. But like a year like last year, it grew really good corn. Which if you watch some of the previous videos, it was the corn that was greener because it was still alive and growing, because it grows corn when it grows good corn when it's dry, it grows good corn when it's wet, but it's hard to harvest when it's wet. That's it here. Let's chalk that one up. We're on the right side. Weighing right. 12.3 acres. Not a bad day so far. So far today we've done, what is that? 23, 26, 31, 32, 33, yeah, so 33 acres so far. Had some issues, better keep on moving, get this set in transport mode and go from there. He did do one pass around the left one, so we call these split fields, and we were in here previously. So he went up to the next field, which I know is going to be dry enough, but he did one pass around split left, and the reason we call them split field is because we got a driveway down the middle, because we got a field behind it and then a field behind that. So I'll get out, get me back into mode and get going. This is different. I'm not sure. That's a pain. What the hell is going on? How the hell did that get in there? Yeah, that row is not. Outside row? That's probably not a good spot. That was in there quite a bit. That seed's probably not placed at all good. It is in it. It packed it, but it's probably not low. We're gonna check back on that, because that row compared to that row is way different. Didn't even notice it. Come on. Starting to get some fertilizer lines plugged up, and how I can tell that is, I don't think you can see it. Pressure gauge went up And those check ball, or the little float balls, 3 of them all of a sudden are low, one's still high. So it's struggling to actually get through. So that's why they're sitting lower. The one is, yeah, quite a bit. So once I get up here to the truck, because that might help me if I need something or to leave and go get something. But I take it the screens are probably just plugged up. They're fighting me. Of course, it's the first one that leaked a bunch when I tried to put it together, and the 2 others. So we'll see. Well, yeah, once around, and well, second time around, once we get to the end here, I can hear the 7520 running, so that's always good. Need 2 hands. Seed boxes are getting a little low. My brother was gonna bring me one more, or bring me down it. So let's see. Oh yeah, chocked full. Look at that. I'm surprised it took this long to get filled up. I should cut that zip tie off so I can do this better and not lose that disc in the ground. There we go. So clean these out. I figured it was going to plug up sooner than this. That's clean. I don't know if you can see anything. Nope, probably not. Well, we got 4 more to do. We're gonna do all of them. All cleaned out. Got the filters cleaned. They were all filtered. Brother came with a load. Fresh tote of fertilizer and 4 bags of seed. So you see, these ones are the ones that got a lot of graphite put on the top. Look at these muddy paws. Where did you go? You go play in the water in the mud? He jumped in here and stuff went all over me. So my brother dropped me off. He left me that. I can fill myself up once more. I think that will probably do it for the night. Finishing up another one. So we're at 51 acres right now. I better pay attention to what we're doing here. Turn some flashers on, turn the lights on, jump down to the next field. I didn't fold nothing up. But a little outlaw stuff on the weekend. Everybody loves it. So we'll jet down to this next field, which is literally on the other side of this house. That puts us in a good boat. The next one's like 4.5, so we'll be at 55 acres. Yeah, that puts us a third of the way done. So I got the hammer down. The big discs are awesome. It is getting a little I'm too close to the disc, so the ground's a little too worked up, but I'll do this one, and then maybe this one won't be as bad. So following my marker line in worked up ground that's a little damper, it hasn't dried down on the surface, it makes it harder to follow it at night. I never got rear fender lights for this and the marker lights on the side, so it's kind of dark over there. It's not as dark as it looks on camera. I don't think, maybe it is. So that's something to add to this. The 7320 has that. Alrighty, one more field. I'll get this done. My brother's getting me some dinner, so I'm excited for that. So I kind of regret there's some wetter spots in here, because the discs weren't far enough in front of me. I'm struggling to see the exact line. Yeah, GPS would be nice. I agree. So I'm struggling to see the exact line. In the drier spots like this, it's fine, but back behind where I just came from, it gets a little wetter. So I'm hoping planter's planting good, fertilizer going good. It's a nice night. I figured I'd finish up this. That will put me at over a third of the way done with our planting. And then I think there's 2 fields that got this in front of me, probably 10 acres. The discs are probably 10 acres in front of me, so hopefully they can get rolling early tomorrow morning. And we'll go hammer out some more acres. I think that'll do it for tonight. But guess what? We are a third of the way done with corn planting. So that's not too bad at all, if you ask me. We started yesterday, I don't know if it was 4 o'clock when I got rolling, 5 o'clock when I got rolling, so pretty much a day's worth of planting, and we're a third of the way done. I did catch up to the discs a little bit tonight, so hopefully that can get ahead of us tomorrow. Maybe we'll spread some fertilizer. I don't know. But appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have been enjoying the planting content, and liking, subscribing, telling friends, sharing it up. Really appreciate all of that. So channel's growing like anything, and yeah, more to come. So have a good one. Hey, if you leave the lights on, they start flashing at you. Never knew that. But alrighty, maybe it's telling me to go home. So see you tomorrow.